Good morning, folks. It is Monday, 10:30. Just taking care of the slacks for the morning. Read through some emails and whatnot, and getting back to work. Gonna record a couple streams here before some meetings. On Friday, I got I went through and got the happy path for what happens if a user has already joined a group. I've got a test for it, and I've got the actual feature working. So um, that's seen here right at the end. Boom. Let's see. So the invite has already been accepted. Open conversation. Cool. So that's what happened on Friday. So I've got the the happy path working there, and also the news. How funny. Let's see. Can I double tap? No. In MSNBC and meltdown after Donald Trump's McDonald's shift. Awesome. What a world to be alive. So what's next is the failure cases. So if the user has been blocked, I know that's one. Let's see, I had this in a Notion somewhere. And I'm just trying to still. Where's my home? I don't know how Notion works sometimes. Yep, happy path. User has been blocked, and then clicks link. User join times out. Okay. So user has been blocked and then clicks the link. So in the old screen, this would happen. Where would this happen? Group invite. Rejected, I believe. Rejected. If group is not active. So that's one way that rejected could happen. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's only one way right here. Right there. So this condition is if the group is not active. So apparently that's the condition that we're going to key off of here. And then I've got that same kind of logic in my machine here. Has user not been blocked? And that's in this. Let's see. We've got this in a couple different places. So checking if the user has been blocked from group. Checking if the user has already joined group. So if the user has not been blocked, then we do this, providing user consent. Otherwise, we go to user has been blocked. Same thing here. Let's see. User has already joined group. If the user has not already joined group. Not exactly sure on all these conditions, but checking if the user has already joined the group. I think there was a condition I was trying to match. But anyway, so there's this condition: user has been blocked from group, and then we enter this state and we save the group join status as rejected. So cool. We do that once here, and so this should work if the user's been blocked, and so this group. Let's see. So this test needs to look something like should successfully allow an invited user to join with a valid group invite. Should transition to user was already a member of group prior to joining the group. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna have to do here, let's take the happy path case, and then it should transition to, let's see, I don't like the names of these tests, but I'm just gonna it should transition to user has already been blocked. User's been blocked from group if user was blocked from group. Okay, So newly invited group ID. Let's see. I'm gonna get some help from Cursor here shortly, but I'm gonna just run these tests. This is always gonna pass because this is the happy path copy. Let's see. So user not a member of group. And then at some point I go user is a member of group, and so I think we're just gonna have to do another fixture here, which we're gonna have to create. I'm not really gonna explain all this. I'm gonna get it working first. Let's see. How is this expansion? Okay, user a member, user not a member, user blocked from group with ID. User blocked from group with ID. And then we need to change this group ID user was blocked from user blocked from group with ID. This group ID user blocked. I don't know. Names suck. This shouldn't matter. Get group invite. So the thing that I'm trying to duplicate here, where's my old screen? Always keep your old screen around while you're refactoring. Group is active, and so that's groups after joining. And then I think I've just saved that as groups before joining. How have I not got the groups after joining? Invited group. What am I doing? The blocked user was not blocked from group. User has not been blocked. What group am I passing here? Invited group. That makes sense. And invited group. Okay. So, we're looking for invited group. And then how do we get invited group? We're looking for where this is actually saved. Save new group. And where are we actually doing that? On done of determining newly joined group. So in fetch groups by account. And then this needs to be a new group that the user is blocked from. So fetch groups by account. Here we go. So this fixture group is going to be is active, false. That should be that simple. Fixture group ID group is already a member of. Okay. So I need to trigger that there's a new group. So fixture IDs, fixture group, remove these from the fixture if they were even to even get in. I don't know what this is. It's useful, useless. Group ID user's already a member of. So that's if I think this is actually wrong, so hold on, let me user a member of group with ID. user blocked from group. Blocked group ID. Group ID user was blocked from. I don't know why I'm doing this. It doesn't really seem useful. Group invite ID, group ID. Okay, and then the fixture. I guess because I was doing this a different way. Fetch groups by account. This group needs to be active false. And then I just don't like it. Can I delete in there? Yep. Okay, so then we're going to use this fixture. Fixture user was blocked from group with ID. Yep. And then in the test, I think if we just go, so this is how easy it is to control dependencies. So you notice I have like this controlled object. This sits here in this environment, and then we can just mutate that in our tests. The trick is to educate your team members on how to use this, and I'm just setting this up fresh. So at some point I'm going to go over all this architecture, but that moment is not right now. But basically you can just take your client, which is a collection of endpoints. So this group join client has fetch group invite, attempt to join group, fetch groups by account, allow group, and refresh group. And you just implement those according to your desired behaviors. And that's how we get some easy testing here. So I should be able to say user blocked. And then I'm going to change this. User blocked from group. Group ID blocked. Blocked group ID. Okay, and then we're going to get a failing test because waiting for user action is not going to happen. So if we go into loading group invite metadata over here, loading group invite metadata, let's see what happens. So we're gonna fetch group invite actor logic. So I guess loading initially joined groups. Yeah, so that's what it should be. There we go. And then expect group invite metadata to be defined. User did tap. That's not going to do anything because loading initially joined groups. Loading initially joined groups is going to actually fetch those accounts by actor logic, which is going to fetch the groups by account. This fetch groups by account is going to go into fetch groups by account. And so that was a little confusing, sorry. It's going to go into whatever fixture we've set up. And in our case, we've set up this user was blocked from group with ID, and then we're looking for fetch groups by account, which I've named these interestingly, but anyway, we should get is group active false. And then so group invite metadata. Groups, return groups, and then groups before join request accepted. Oh, okay. So I've got to actually do the song and dance here, but anyway, groups invite metadata. Oopsies, should transition to user has been blocked from a group. Loading group invite metadata. Waiting for user. Yeah, it's not waiting for user action here. It's. Did I undo that? Yeah. And then group invite metadata. Groups before join request accepted. This is just confusing because you have to create a group invite. You have to create a group join request. And then what entity are we actually doing? Blocked group ID. So do we have, let's do blocked group ID, and then we're going to go groups before join dot by ID, and then we're going to have the cannot read properties of undefined by ID. Okay. This is undefined. Loading initially join groups. Oh, and then we need group join. Sorry. Loading initially join groups. Let's see if we go here, and then we can better explore. Loading initially join groups, and then we can recursively expand this with option command plus. There we go. And on done, checking if user has already joined group before action. Let's see, was there a guard there? Checking if user actions, no. Save new group. Checking if user has already joined group before action. Okay, so we'll expand this out, see what happens here. User was already a group. Let's see, loading initially joined groups. And then, this is not what we expect. And then this is checking if user has already, you can't call this. We expect this. Loading initially joined groups. Oh, and then we need to wait for that, sorry. And then we can do a little cheat here. Wait for state doesn't match that. And then print out what it is. GGA.get snapshot. What was it? User was already a member of group. Okay, user was already a member of group. That's a bug actually. So if the user was already a member of the group, even if the group, let's see. We're going to get that snapshot here, and then we basically just want to know, is that active? Should get false. Okay, so we get false here. So loading initially joined groups. This is so silly. Loading initially joined groups. Loading initially joined groups. Okay. Checking if user has joined group before user action. This needs to be checking user group status before user action. And then this needs to have a couple different states. Checking user group status. So always target, let's see. Target. This is where cursor is going to be a little helpful here. So I'm going to go into, oops, I'm going to save all this though. join group machine. Oh, I'm just gonna type it out. Okay. And then user was not blocked. See, this is where I've already kind of got this. Checking user. Checking user group status. And then we need to check user group join status. Six 32, 322, 364, 569. So here's the actual state. Loading initially joined groups. Checking if users already joined group. There's the actual state. Determining newly joined group. Checking if user has been blocked. Has group ID and metadata. Yeah, it's gonna be easier here to look at the chart, the visual chart. Which means I kind of need to fix the chart, which is frustrating, but okay, anyway. So yeah, I hit an auto layout there, I guess. Okay. This actually isn't bad. Okay. So loading initially joined groups. So fetch group invite, loading initially joined groups. I'm done loading. I need to check the user's status. User's been blocked from group. Nope. different ways for them to get here. Oh, that's useful. Is user and group. Checking if user has already joined the group before user action. Driving myself nuts. Sorry, this is a super boring stream. So, checking if user has already joined group before user action. I can only do this if I have a group ID. Loading initially joined groups. There should be a guard here. Return context dot group invite metadata dot group ID is not equal to undefined. Otherwise, has group ID. Okay. So guard type has group ID and metadata. Context dot group ID metadata dot group. I'll do it. Or wait, what do you, maybe he was right. Group invite metadata. Okay, that's a little strange. I don't like that. Loading initially joined groups. Undone. If loading initially joined groups. So if we don't do that, what do we do? Loading initially joined groups. Undone. Guard has group ID. Check user. This feels like it needs to be checking user joint group status. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is trash, but upload all the trash.